White balance, you will be the death of me. I don't know how to set it. I don't know how to keep it. It fluctuates. There's clouds. I hate clouds. Today we just rant on white balance woes of my world.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Alright, we got a bunch of little side experiments as we rant about white balance. We're on the Sony a7S III, Zeiss Batis 18mm 2.8 at Tony 8. Auto white balance. My sweater is normal. No comments about that, please. The first thing I want to test, one of you jabronis said that Sony Active Stab doesn't work great for third-party lenses because you have to set it manually. So like auto detecting it doesn't seem to work. So let's see if that's right. Right now we're in auto detecting 18mm. Let's set it manually and see if that's better. Okay, now we're in manual 18mm. Is it working? Is it respectable? Because usually I have to do catalyst browse to even lick the image after. In fact, I will switch to catalyst browse in a second. I just wanted to see what this is like, and I go lower and lower on the catalyst browse crop. So we're gonna try 4%. It's a measly 4% crop. This is 10%. Let's switch that up and then talk about white balance. Okay, now we're in catalyst browse 4% crop versus me in much better quality. For some reason, you can only render your file at 100 megabits per second max. That's like old Sony a6300 technology. It's bullshit. But when it comes to white balance, I got a little thing. She's never told me that. I got these cards. I was like, I need a small white balance card. Side litten arrangement. So right now, auto white balance. White balancing with the white. Here's the thing that I hate so much. Nobody ever agrees on anything. They say, oh, you white balance with the gray card. And then I'm like, that seems wrong, but okay. Let's try each one and see what the difference is. White balance. Now we're using the white card as a reference. Switching it up to gray. Gray losers exist. Aliens. They don't exist. The Earth is flat. That's a dome. It's a dome. Black white balance could be a thing in some cultures. I do hear hip-hop music and a basketball bouncing somewhere. This is not racist. Which one looked best to you? These things, $6. Affiliate links down below, just on my keychain. Huh? So here's my main problem with white balance. Auto white balance should just be normal. Detect it. You decide. I don't have time for this. Go ahead. I don't have time to white balance myself outside because you set it for sunlight and then a cloud goes by and all of a sudden your life sucks. And Sony color science, it's bad because of the white balance technology, I think. Very possible. Very possible. I imagine Sony's doing pretty okay right now. It's a very straightforward, just sun with a lot of chemtrails. It's the color of aluminum poisoning, and Sony usually handles that. They're reptilians. They know how to poison human beings. So like, it's doing okay. It's when I get home and there's mixed lighting. You start off, okay, just window light. Sony, you handle me. It's like, okay, that's cool. What if I turn on my light now? Because I'm next to a window, I do not have the money for curtains. Blackout curtains, those are ridiculous. I need light in my tiny apartment. So like, all of a sudden we have mixed lights, and then you turn on the background light and you have like this tungsten bulb now. It's like, what's that all about? Now things start getting weird and my walls are pink. And then like, what if I turned on another light to complement the one I already had? And like, it's nightmares. Absolute nightmares. Sony is the one that just can't handle the mixed lighting for some reason, whereas Canon is fine with it. Things always look white. White looks white, black looks black, but Sony blacks turn red, things get pink. I don't know how to fix it. Then you put your hair light on and it's like, okay, now what are we doing? Sony, pick a light source and stick with it, and you never do. You never do. So like right now, we have much more cloud. No, that's ending. I did not time that segment properly. Now I'm in the shade, things get cool and dark, and sometimes my lips turn purple, and people are asking me like, what disease is that? And I'm like, I don't know, it's my camera, I think. Sometimes I have noticed my lips are actually purple. I have no oxygen flowing in my body. I don't belong in this world. I need like 18% oxygen saturation like it is near the dome, but I don't belong here. We all knew that. I'm gonna switch out of automatic white balance and let's try doing something. We can do it on the fly. Sony lets you do that. We're in auto sunny. Daylight. I mean, it is daylight. It's daytime. That should be what this means. So now a cloud is going by. Is something changing? I hate white balance so much. Canon would just keep up with it. Oh, it's a little cooler. Nikon gets weird with it too. I notice every time a cloud goes by or I come under the shade, under the protection of a tree, Nikon does not like it. I turn completely blue and purple, almost Fuji-like. Fuji is disgusting with white balance. You change one thing, you change a direction. There's too many leaves in a tree. It's like, oh, let's just shift that to magenta. Why? Just have a green leaf. That's what they are, unless it's fall. That is a hawk, I think. But hopefully with these, let's see if it changes. Sony is choosing. Boom. Oh, I'm in the way of everybody's life. He has a home. How much was it? $7,500 million. Oh, Toronto prices, I love you. Okay, so I just want to do custom set now. I'd have to stop this. Okay, now I just custom white balanced with this white card. Things got insane. 7,100 kelvins with a green +1. What are the odds that this is correct? Very little possibility. And then we correct it in DaVinci. Did it change? White balance is such a bitch. We're now trying a 3% crop, by the way, since I had to split the files and render it twice. Let's see if 3% is enough for Catalyst Browse to stay. I was very impressed with 5%. It was gimbal-like. Just a couple moments if you're doing something and you move weird and okay, it doesn't catch up to that, but if you're just walking, 5% was enough, and that's a life hack if it didn't look so trashy. That's the problem. It's just like you go from 4K to 720p, I think. Even though it says it's 4K still. It's not. I mean, 3% is clearly not enough for an angry dad walk when your kid gets home at 6 p.m. and he doesn't even finish his dessert first before the dinner. Oh, but next to Freak Boy, it is better. Much better, but bad. The problem with the colors is I'm eyeing things on my non-calibrated monitor to begin with. And I'm just like always wondering, what should a skin tone look like? I know the line exists, skin tone line, and then you try to get it off, and some people look better slightly red, others slightly yellow. I try to get that, but it's always the magenta and the green shifts that ruin me. And then in Sony, I have like black hair, but it's always red in Sony. Okay, now I white balance with the gray card. I feel like that's a little bit more normal. 6,200 kelvins. I still don't know which of these to use to correct it after, but I'll figure that out later. We're also now trying a 2% Catalyst Browse crop. I have stopped it down to 24 to have some shutter speed to work with. Is that working? That would be hilarious. If you get like gimbal-like stay with only a 2% crop, it'd be funny to me. Not as funny as my sweater. So my problem with setting white balance is I never know what to use. Do you use auto and just let the camera decide? Do you do a custom? Because so many times I've customed on a gray or white card and things never look right. And then you could also just pick your Kelvin. But like if you have a 5600 light, you would think, oh, I'll use 5600 on here. But no, that doesn't work. So it's like, what's the number? What do you shoot for? And then you eye it. And I'm always off. I never know what to even look for. It's like a blind man searching for soup. You'll get burned, homie. So it really makes you appreciate cameras that just do things automatically for you. I shouldn't have to worry about colors. Like, just look normal. Olympus did it well. Canon pretty well. Panasonic's always a little warm. I don't know. They're a little off. Nikon, definitely, if you go in the shade, they're off. Fuji, terrible. It's like so many, it should be such a simple thing. Like just white balance. What is white? It's a question we've been asking since the dawn of time. Move on already. Get it right. And black especially. Because if your black hair is red, then you have to go into the shadows and make it slightly blue, but then you have blue hair, and how much blue do you add until it's black? This isn't kindergarten where crayons exist. Give me the answer already. So how do you white balance? What's your secret? Do you use a white card? Is it gray? Do you care? Do you just set it? I got a comment the other day saying, just set it to 5600 kelvins. Yeah? Yeah? Let's do that then. 2700, that's not right. Okay, 5600. I think he said that. That actually looks really good. But I bet you it's wrong. According to this $6 thing I bought. Why is that so hard all of a sudden? Yeah. It corrected it to the proper thing. Why does it say magenta plus 0.2? I'm gonna leave. Oh, damn you to hell. Straight to hell. Sony, I hate you so much. How was Catalyst Browse today? Decent. 2%. Not bad. Not bad. I'm gonna leave. How you doing? Are you buying a wool shirt at your local Value Village? You'll be warm. That's all I know. Subscribe for more. But I was saying